Alrighty, this is Osio here. I'm doing a build video for a YouTuber list. As for my landslide druid build, just spent a hefty bit of gold this morning respecking and getting this together for you. Uh, so I'm going to go ahead and start with my gear. I've got 32k attack power, 8.9 armor, and 21k life. My resistances are not quite maxed, and that's only because I didn't spend the extra. I obviously don't have the extra gold. I didn't spend the extra gold to reslot my gems and gear, and I didn't perfect the tree as well as I could. I am also missing a certain stat on my necklace, the max armor, so that I can't really afford to put resistance in my gear here because I'm not an armor cap yet. This is also supposed to have a skill on it. That'll get us to armor cap if I have a skull in this ring. So we're gonna start with Godslayer Crown. We're taking this for the damage and the pull-in. Every other stat on here doesn't really matter. Crowd control duration doesn't matter. Cooldown reduction is nice, but not needed. We want resistance to all on at least one piece of gear that can take it. That's just to help with our ranks resistances. You can put on multiple pieces of gear if that helps you reach cat better. Tomato. Our main stats for defensive pieces of gear are going to be willpower and armor, and max life, or resistance to all elements, depending on what you need. That's for all our defensive pieces of gear. If you want to put that on your pants, if you want to put that on your boots, if you want to put that on your chest, if you don't have Tybalt's Will yet, etc. That's our main roles. Willpower, armor, life, resistance, defensively. Those are our main roles. On boots, though, I do take movement speed because we don't have a lot in this build, so I'll be taking that. But we take Mending Stone on our chest. We're going to be taking Aftershock on our gloves. We want the damage to crowd controlled, and we want Lucky Hit. Ideally, we want Lucky Hit to immobilize. It is the best for Druid, I believe, especially this build. It keeps things at a distance. It works well with our Constricting Tendrils. You can take 3 ranks to Landslide here. I've noticed it doesn't make too huge of a difference. You could also take Crit Chance. I'm not Crit Chance, I'm sorry, Crit Damage. You do want a little bit of Crit Chance here and there on this build, and that's for your extra procs from Nature's Fury. But your Landslide itself, you'll notice that it auto crits a lot. This Crit Chance is not for that. This Crit Chance is for the Lightning and Tornado procs that will be hitting with it. Tybalt's Will, it's not 100% necessary, but it really does make this build turn into a Tornado Wolf-esque infinite spirit generating monster, while also giving us that juicy 15 to 20%, whatever you got on the roll, damage buff, and the damage on the pants is nice as well. I'm not going to lie, the potion capacity feels good this season with all the damage reduction that we're now missing. Feels nice. Boots, we're taking Symbiotic here. Symbiotic is necessary for the build to work with Tybalts. If you don't have Tybalts, you don't have to worry about Symbiotic so much, and you can take any boot enchant that feels good for you. The Daze one I find is beautiful, especially if you have Lucky Hit to Daze on any of your other gear, because it gives the damage boost. I think it's a 20% multiplicative damage boost, which is beautiful. Anyway, next. We're taking Crash Stone on our weapon. So, weapon-wise, you can go a two-handed axe here if you have enough crowd control damage to reach the 40% multiplicative bonus on the earth part of your Paragon board. But you are going to want critical damage, and max life, and either willpower or max damage. Willpower and max damage I find are pretty interchangeable. They both add to your attack power, they both add to your overall experience as a druid. Willpower is obviously going to give you a little bit more across the board, while damage is going to give you just more straight up damage. For the temperings, I take damage. You could also take damage to distant here. That would be a great roll, honestly. I just kept the 90% damage because it was max roll, and I thought that was lucky, just took it. But damage to distant here would really churn off the procs off of your Nature's Fury passive. It would help with the lightning and the tornado damage, which you're going to see is an ongoing theme here. We're going to be taking the natural balance here. On the necklace, Spirit on Kill is not needed. I've been using this necklace, I think, since mid-80s, and it's carried me through some good stuff, and I have just, the Spirit on Kill is what I kept there. You can do, you want the little bit of crit chance, but ideally, you want to get rid of that damage for crit damage, if possible. You don't need damage everywhere in the build. Your attack power isn't exactly showing up your damage output. Crit damage would be higher. You would get a 50% instead of the 30. I think it's actually maybe 75 on necklaces. I can't remember. But anyway, you get the bigger damage buff from the crit damage because we're critting constantly. But life here, movement speed, the necklace is kind of a flex spot. It's honestly, the gearing is what I need help with, I think. That's why I wanted an extra set of eyes on this. We took this because of that beautiful 75% crit damage right there. Willpower, max life is great, but that Umbral is the most important thing on this gear. It keeps your mana full. I have tried with the Paragon board, I've tried with Tempest Roar, I've tried everything, and Umbral is the best. It's the best restore until Ring of Starless Skies, I believe. Then we'd replace Ring of Starless Skies here. Then we got the ring, obviously necessary for the build. This thing can get through freaking the purple bubbles. Can't remember the name of it right now. You know, if you played Diablo IV, you know what I'm talking about. The big purple bubble suppressor. There we go, found the word. The summoning land spikes goes under the bubble, and we'll kill them. If that doesn't work, we got Petrify. Petrify just turns the bubble off. It's a bye-bye bubble button. Petrify. That's what I have it for. It's beautiful. Spirit Boons, we're going Wariness and Iron Feather, Avian Wrath, Energize, again, Spirit Generation, we're going to need it. And then we're going Overload here. A lot of people might think Calm Before the Storm or Obsidian Slam. Petrify does not need Calm Before the Storm. We have enough cooldown reduction for it in the third node of Petrify. So we're taking Overload for that extra AoE damage. It's beautiful once this thing starts really popping off. Then we're going to go over to the skill tree. We are taking Wind Shear and Enhanced Wind Shear. This is just an extra point right here. This is a flex point. Here's Wind Shear. You don't really need it there, but I didn't know where else I wanted to put it. So that's where it sits. We have 5 into Landslide, Enhanced, and Primal. Primal is that auto crit. This is necessary for the build to pop off. I haven't tried this Landslide, but seeing that it works with Immobilized, I'm interested. Let's just see how that would work with our build. We'll test it out. We'll test it out at the end of this video. See how it works. We go 1 into Lightning Storm, 1 into Enhanced, and 1 into Raging for the extra Lightning proc. 1 Tornado, 1 into Tornado for the extra Lightning proc, or the extra Tornado proc. Go straight down, 1 into Bulwark, and into Preserving. Ancestral Fortitude 3, Vigilance 3, just 1 point into Poison Creeper. This is just a stun. Things get close, you stun, you dodge off, keep your distance, keep them down, keep them stunned. Nature's Reach, again, keep them away, keep them stunned. Get that freaking 18% multiplicative damage bonus from that. 1 into elemental exposure, 1 into charged atmosphere, 3 into electric shock, and 3 into bad omen. These are just going to be proccing off of all the extra tornadoes and lightning storms that we are proccing off of Nature's Fury. Get that. 3 into crushing earth for the 15%. We're going to get 1 just for a little bit extra fortify in here. You could put that flex point in here if you want more fortify, but I don't think it's necessary at all. It's arguable that we don't even need this because of how often we're proccing Earth and Bulwark. So you could actually probably take Safeguard and Fierce Wind Shear and fill that out for another 8 damage. That's probably a good move. It's probably what I'll keep here, to be honest with you. Anyway, Hurricane Enhanced and the Damage Reduction Savage Hurricane. We're of course getting a Venom on your necklace. If you can get 3 points into this or 3 points into Resonance, that's probably clutch. I have not been lucky enough to get any necklaces that drop that had a Venom at all, or Resonance at all. So I am not running that yet. As I said earlier, I've been running the same necklace since 85. I've not had good luck with them. I get a lot of defensive necklaces dropping, which is cool and all, but I save them. I'm using them. 3, 3, and 3, really simple here. It's all damage buffs. It works with earth and lightning. That's at the core of our build. 3 into Petrify, getting enhanced. This is why we don't need that Spirit boon, because we're getting kills, we're hitting bosses, we're reducing the cooldown. Nature's Fury, core of the build. This is proccing things left and right, tornadoes, lightning storms on top of all our landslides. The earth is coming up from under and the sky is crashing. We are sandwiching creatures in between Nature's Fury. To the 30% chance. And then the most important part of Nature's Fury, and the part that people don't talk about enough, I believe, is in addition, these free skills count as both earth and storm skills. That means every tornado we cast off of that, every lightning storm and tornado we cast off of that is now an earth skill. They're now earth skills, which means they get all the damage buffs from both sides of this, both sides of this. They get all the damage buff from this. They fortify you with this. And they benefit, most importantly, from this 40% multiplicative damage buff. And then on top of that, we're adding another 23 here. But if you get that distant on your weapon, this will go up a lot. And you will notice it. And again, I just didn't switch it off because, tempering is unforgiving. But we'll try it in the future. Anyway, down to the Paragon board. Start here. I will pause on each Paragon board. So, starting tree, this is how I have it built out, with Earth and Sky right here to boost this portion of the tree. We're going to come up into Earth and Devastation here. I will pause again. This is how I have it built out. Earth and Devastation with Electrocution. We are missing a point in Electrocution. Holy shnikey, how'd that happen? Where's our Electrocution point? Electrocution point, Electrocution point. Need an extra point in Electrocution. Not take crit damage. Hey! Well, itty bitty crit damage. Away for boom. Didn't mean to do that. Sorry, I just respec for you for this video. Again, it's a little sped up, so we want that 20% increased damage there from electrocution on the bottom. That's the important part. The top part doesn't matter. It's that 20% multiplicative. We go. Where'd I go first? Okay, yeah. So we went second trees here, or the devastation. Third tree here is Thunderstruck. And we put Tectonic here. I will pause on this tree so you can screenshot it. And I will over here, we have Height Malice tree. We are taking Spirit here for all that juicy critical strike damage and the extra damage multiplier on the crit strikes, because that will be capped the entire time we're in combat. Again, I will pause. Move off of this. Stop on the screen. Pause. This is our 4th tree. This is our 5th tree. Here, Constricting Tendrils. A lot of people sleep on this tree. This tree is one of my favorites. Honestly, I wanted to put it here. But I wanted to make sure I got all the secondary things, like from Tempest, getting that extra crit damage, etc. But if I could work it out, math it out correctly, I would have Constricting Tendril sitting in the middle here, and I would get any extra resistance I could, because this tree has just so many good nodes in it. We are taking Territorial here. This will help us with our Lightning passive, give us a little boost. If they had a distant one, I'd be using it. Hands down. The damage reduction from close enemies is great, but I'm mainly using this to get a little bit of buff into here. And if I could afford it, I'm missing 8 points. I didn't. All these seasons I've played, almost 1,000 hours, and I don't have all my rep farmed. I'm just, I guess, too hyper focused on doing builds and not on rep farming. But anyway, I would put a few more points into this if I could. I will stop. Let me take a picture of this. And we'll do a little test here. I'll show you how this thing pops up. So the rotation here is, you just want to, I usually start off by, I hold down X for my auto attack, but we're not going to use it a lot, because as soon as you start landsliding, things are going to start happening and building up and building up. Get some millions in there. But this isn't the important part. What starts happening is our Hurricane. Every time we use a Hurricane skill, we're going to get a 45% multiplicative damage bonus from our necklace enchant. And then, see, we're just tapping buttons here. We're using a Hurricane to hopefully proc our or the Bulwark in time, to keep our Bulwark up. It doesn't always work. It doesn't always keep up 100% of the time, but most of the time, as you can see. My ult here. Let's see what numbers we get. There's a 1-3. So as you see, this build is decent. It can carry us through the pit. It can, I've done, I think, Nightmare 80s with it. When I did do the Nightmare 80s, I had full resistances, I had armor cap. This is me coming back and reworking the build. I had it perfected flat out before I changed to wind shear a couple days ago. Just because, like I said, I'm a build junkie. I like doing different builds, and I just I had my own version of wind shear built out before this. I was doing 42 million wind shear poison procs, which is beautiful. That build is very single target and doesn't do a lot of AoE, that wind shear build. As much as I love it, it doesn't clear runes that fast. I mean, it definitely can, has potential to, if you line everything up correctly, but it's a little, you have to focus a little more and play it. This, I can just jam buttons, clear runes, and it's fun, especially when you're playing this build with other people, because you'll be the AoE guy and you have like your buddy single targeting as a barbarian or a necro, and it works out really well when you got a team with you. But anyway, this is my build. I'm Osio. Y'all have a good one.